Methodist junior from Sycamore, Illinois, number 35, Connor Davis. The Wildcats are led by head coach Dorian Hobbs Jr., and he is assisted by Connor Whitmer and Chase Olivia. It's time to introduce today's starters for your Central Methodist Eagles. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Jefferson City, Missouri, number 1, Marcus Anthony. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Massillon, Ohio, number 11, Kevin James. At guard, a 6'5" senior from Milan, Italy, number 20, Christian Barbieri. At forward, a 6'7" junior from London, England, number 23, Brandon Chua. And at forward, a 6'8" junior from London, England, number 24, Thomas Sulu. The Eagles are led by head coach Matt Sherman. He's assisted by Forrest Hicks.
Well, good evening and welcome into Fayette and Puckett Fieldhouse on the campus of Central Methodist University. The Wildcats of Culver-Stockton on the road in their road blue uniforms in town to take on the Central Methodist Eagles wearing their home white uniforms. A little bit of a different starting lineup today with Christian Barbieri and Thomas Sawulu getting the start today. Kevin James, a couple games in a row here for him to be in the starting lineup. As for the Wildcats, big part of their game is Connor Davis. You'll have to watch out for him, and we'll talk about him as this game progresses. Alex Jackson battles for the tip with Sawulu and wins it. And the Wildcats have the basketball. It's been a rough season for Dorian Hobbs and Culver-Stockton. A bit of a disappointment based on how they competed last year. Had a really nice year, relatively speaking. Davis immediately tees one up and knocks it down. Connor Davis has been sensational this season for the Wildcats, averaging 20 a game. It's one of the best in the country, one of the best in the heart. And a great pass by Sawulu, finding the cutting Chua. Davis has scored 20 or more points each of his last 3. He dropped 41 points against William Penn in late January, so a big key for CMU today is to try to keep number 35 in blue in check. Anthony has the matchup. Barbieri got his hands on it. Ball still loose, and Barbieri did not pick it up. Instead collected by Ryan Stevenson. And this Culver-Stockton team that looks a lot different than what they looked like last year. Stevenson drains it, and the Wildcats off to a good start from distance. Coming into today, they're shooting about 33% as a team towards the bottom half of the conference. They knock down a couple to get them off to a good start on the road. Sawulu tight ropes the baseline and throws it away, and it's eventually picked up by the Wildcats. The layup miss by Jacob McGee. CMU looking to tighten things up for the start today. A bit of a different starting lineup. Barbieri gets it out to Chua. He's on the drive. Scoop layup missed. Eagles coming off of a win against Park, 89-72 a week ago. A very impressive win against the Pirates. They snapped a 4-game losing streak and had one of their better performances of the season. The Eagles 13-13 this year. Another 3 heaved by Stevenson, nothing but nylon. A 3-for-3 start from distance for Culver-Stockton. Can't ask for much better through the first 2 minutes. Eagles need an answer, suddenly finding themselves down by 7. Anthony unable to do just that. Instead, his shot is off the mark. Culver-Stockton with all the momentum early. Rhodes, the pull it from the foul line, missed it, and Barbieri has the rebound.
Connor Davis may be influencing his team a little bit. He got them started with a deep ball, and you talked about it after that. 2 for 2, 3 for 3 on the night from Culver-Stockton, and a bit of momentum for the Wildcats to begin.
Chua between the legs, into the lane, blew the layup. Sawulu ties it up with Jackson. Possession arrow does favor CMU. Eagles 13-13 on the season. They got back to 500 with that win against the Pirates, but they are still below 500 in the Heart, 10-12. Currently tied for 7th in the standings with Missouri Valley, and we'll be keeping you updated on the Vikings tonight as they take on Park. Anthony into the contested shot, missed it. Connor Davis on the break against Barbieri. He spins, it's the other side, missed the layup. Chua the other way, moves it to James. He jump stops, can't scoop it in. And the Eagles struggling early offensively while the Wildcats are 3 for 3 from downtown. The Eagles 1 of 5 to start.
Talked about the confidence that Davis has going back to that last play. He was alone against 2. He didn't hesitate. He went straight for it, didn't have any second thoughts. Really talks about how sure he is of himself and his game and what he can do.
Stevenson backs it up against James. Gets it out to his teammate Davis. Davis step back 3. Bottom. What a start for Culver-Stockton. 4 for 4 from distance. 2 for Davis, 2 for Stevenson. A barrage for the Wildcats to begin. And CMU looking to respond. James heaves it, and he drains it.
Now the Eagles starting to play some 3-ball as well. The Wildcats can do it, why can't them?
CMU can pick up a stop defensively. Stevenson unconscious, but he can't knock that one down. And a heat check as the Wildcats look to find a win in Fayette tonight. Chua, after the contact, knocks it down. A couple of threes in response from the Eagles, and they trail by 4. CMU 8-2 against the Wildcats in the last 10 meetings, and 4 straight wins for the Eagles against the Wildcats in Fayette. Last win for Culver-Stockton in this building came in 2019. Backing in was McGee, out to Davis with 5 on the shot clock. Between the legs, he spins, fading away off 1 foot. A little bit of Luka Doncic in that bag. And Davis up to 8 points. 6-point advantage for the Wildcats. What a start for Culver-Stockton on the road in Fayette. Anthony curls around, finds Barbieri, the southpaw off the heel for his 3. And McGee with the rebound. On the drive, Rhodes is blocked by Sawulu, out of bounds. It stays with the Wildcats. Kai Jordan, Destin Jenkins, Bolt Tong are in for the Eagles, but in the meantime, we've got a timeout on the floor. 14-8 advantage for the Wildcats. They come into Fayette shooting from downtown with alacrity. What a start for Culver-Stockton in Fayette. Looking to break a 4-game losing streak in this building. 50% from the field, 4 of 5 from distance for the Wildcats. Connor Davis up to 8 points. Stevenson with 6. CMU punched in the mouth. They're able to respond with a couple of threes of their own. But they need to pick up some more stops as we have about 14 and change remaining in this first half. Stevenson is really feeling it to begin tonight, the transfer from Southwest Baptist. He's averaging 13 a game. And what a start for him and Davis this evening. Jenkins off the crossover, the pull-up is drained. So Jenkins not getting the start, but he's averaging a little over 15 a game. We know he can fill up the bucket at any moment. Davis off 1 foot again, falling away, this time offside iron.
And Davis, one of the key players that you want coming off your bench. He can provide you with a spark. And definitely be up there for Sixth Man of the Year if he hadn't started most of the season, the way he's been playing all year long.
Chew off from the rim on his attempt. 6-point lead for the Wildcats. Lovinger in and out dribble. And poked away by James. Lovinger able to recollect. And eventually, Culver-Stockton settles it with 7 to shoot. Into the corner, Lovinger kicks out Davis in the corner, and he stepped out of bounds. CMU basketball, a good defensive possession. Culver-Stockton has had their issues on both sides of the floor, but defensively especially so. They're towards the bottom of the conference in both opponent points a game and field goal percentage. Second to last opponent field goal percentage at 47%. James in the interior, missed it. And Martez Rhodes with the rebound. Chua got away from Davis, but he also stepped on the sideline. Culver-Stockton basketball with Mario Fantina replacing Kevin James.
Now CMU a bit better job of defending Davis, not really giving him too much room in these back-to-back possessions. Forced 1 turnover, almost forced a second.
Wildcats shooting 50% from the field through the first 7 minutes. Rhodes behind the back, long 2, off the heel. CMU on the run. Jordan out to the trailing Tong. Eagles beat Culver-Stockton in Canton 75-46. Matt Sherman called it one of their best performances of the season after they shot 49% from the field. Tong from the short corner, no. And a rebound to Rhodes. Davis tied up, he gets it out. And a sidestep 3, falling away. Stevenson can't convert. Jenkins up ahead to Chua. He bounces it to Jenkins, and the layup is down.
So Jenkins making a way for himself inside the paint, and Stevenson prior to that maybe forced that three-pointer. Wasn't quite there. Was trying to make something out of nothing, and it proved him costly.
Nobody else for the Wildcats has scored outside of Stevenson and Davis. 8 points for each. Davis with the basketball against Chua. Fakes the spin, kept his footing, and falls away off from the iron. Chua out to Fantina in the corner. Pump fake, fly by 3. A little bit too strong.
Would have been huge to get that three-pointer. Would have put them down by just 1.
And what a play by Brandon Chua. Intercepts the pass and immediately converts it into a potential 3-point play.
I like him there muscling his way, absorbing contact. Not faced by the hand in his face. Now he can put his side down by just 1.
Chua averaging almost 12 a game, just a junior from North London, England. And he's able to drop it in. Eagles cut the deficit to 1. They're starting the game down 9-2. Culver-Stockton as a team just shooting 41%. That's second to last in the Hart Conference. They have lacked offensive options outside of their main scorers. Stevenson muscles his way to the cup, can't lay it in, and Bolton collects the miss. Kai Jordan finds the running Jenkins. The contact, he makes it, and CMU takes the lead.
You like the hard defense on one end and even better finish on the other.
9 minutes into this one. Eagles with one of their first leads. Davis is fouled by Kai Jordan. Just one team foul each side. Thankfully, the shot clock has worked on this end. saw issues with that in the women's game. There was some concern that CMU would have to take a technical foul to begin the game, and they would have to run the shot clock through a stopwatch at the scorer's table, but thankfully for the Eagles, the shot clock has worked thus far. Davis lost it into the hands of Mr. Jackson, and Alex Jackson puts it home. Eagles shooting 41% from the field. Jenkins adds to that, and he drains one, trailing the play from the assist of Kai Jordan.
Now Eagles are starting to get hot. It's been a tale of two different opening 10 minutes almost. Culver-Stockton starting off on the right foot. Now it's CMU kind of getting them back for it.
Three-pointer from Rhodes, off from the iron. Jenkins leaps for the rebound and a foul underneath. Jenkins off the bench, immediately pours in 9 points. And that foul is on Boltong. Culver-Stockton 5-21 in the season, all 5 of those wins coming in conference play. 5-17 in the Heart, 3-9 away from Canton, second to last in the conference standings. Jackson with a little turnaround hook shot, and we're tied at 20 apiece. Eagles 2 games back of Grandview. The Vikings in action tonight. Keep you updated on that score. Boltong inside, missed it, got his own missed bucket and able to draw the foul afterwards. He's to the line.
He wasn't too pleased about it afterwards. Still credit to him grabbing his own rebound and still able to absorb the contact, get to the free throw line, but from his standards, he would have loved to possibly get an N1.
Connor Davis with the foul, his first personal. We'll step aside on the Heart Conference Network. Return to Puckett Fieldhouse, 9:42 to play first half. We're tied at 20 apiece between the Wildcats of Culver-Stockton on the road, taking on the Eagles from Central Methodist. Aaron Mosier, Esteban Velez. Important game tonight as we have 2 more games remaining in the season for the Heart Conference. Central Methodist tied for 7th in the standings with Missouri Valley. The Vikings are tied with Park at 32 apiece in Parkville. 5 minutes remaining in the first half of that one. Grandview 2 games ahead of the Eagles, and right now they trail William Penn 35-39 in Oskaloosa. Boltong misses the first of his pair at the foul line. And William Penn has just had a devastating stretch of basketball, but they were able to break a 9-game losing streak with a win a game ago. And looking to pair a couple of performances together. They are outside the tournament this year. Benedictine right now the 8th seed, right behind Central Methodist and Missouri Valley. A wide open layup for Hayden Lovinger, the transfer from Mo Valley, and he gives CMU a 2-point lead, or rather Culver-Stockton.
And a bit surprising from William Penn, a 9-game losing. I mean, they started the season off so well, even beating a hot CMU at the time. And after some really key wins, they kind of started dropping down, like you said.
After Boltong missed both of his free throws, he's able to make up for it with a 3-ball and give CMU a 1-point lead. And stoppage in play. A discussion about something.
It's not the shot clock this time.
Thank goodness. Yeah, so CMU, as of right now, with the lead. They're now 5 of 8, or they're 4 of 7 from distance. Both teams 4 of 7 from beyond the arc.
It's actually the game clock. One side 9:42, the other side 9:11.
And I think the discussion is about how to approach this. If CMU, because they didn't take the technical before the game, to not use that shot clock. If now there's a chance that we're going to go to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point, Esteban. As long as the shot clock works, I think we should be okay, because thankfully there's scoreboards on both sides, so you can see the time regardless if the shot clock game time is working.
Well, but now the shot clock's not working either. It's interesting.
Might be taking the shot clock time from the scores table now. Davis, an and one, spinning in. And Davis continues a prolific start. He's up to 10 points through the first 11 minutes and change. Chance for a three-point play. He originally transferred from Quincy University a couple seasons ago, dropped in about 10 points a game last year. And he has been asked to step up his scoring load this year with Quentin Blackburn missing a lot of time. He was expected to be one of their main front court pieces. They've dealt with injuries this year. We have not seen Ty Walters-Whitaker yet today. He's averaging a little over 13 a game. He was at Hart honorable mention last year for a similar season, but he's missing some time today. He plays about 33 minutes a game. So does Connor Davis. Those are the two main contributors as far as production. Both of them, or really Ty Walters-Whitaker, missing some time here tonight. Davis with a chance to convert the three-point play. He does, as a shot clock out of order on the right side of the floor. So we'll have to deal with that this evening in Puckett. Anthony, crossover, fires it out to Jordan, and then to Fantina in the corner. Fantina was blocked, but into the hands of Jordan. Can't lay it in, but there is Tong with the follow. Old Tong crashes in for the slam on the putback, and we're tied at 25. Rose from three off from the iron. Anthony has the Eagles on the run. Out to Jordan, and he traveled, I believe, unless they blow the whistle for a foul. Is the shot clock not working on this side now? Can't catch a break. And I think we are likely headed to just keeping a shot clock at the scores table for both sides.
Poor officials. They've had a night with the shot clock.
Hopefully we just come to a decision and just deal with what we have to deal with for the rest of the game. I think we are just not going to worry about the shot clock anymore, and it's going to be kept at the scores table, and our public address announcer, Gary Linhart, will keep us updated. Jordan fires it out to Jenkins. Pull up, rattles out. Culver-Stockton down to 46% from the field. Rhodes fires it to Stevenson. He'll take it with a hand in his face, and it's off from the iron.
CMU forcing the Wildcats to take those soft shots. Didn't see that in the first 5 minutes or so. A much better job by them defensively.
Fantina drains it over Nicholas Fowler. Both teams shoot about 24 threes a game. That's about middle of the pack in the conference. So generally don't expect them to heave as much as anybody else, but tonight has been a different scenario. Davis, what a turnaround and a tough bucket, falling away. He's up to 13.
And even there, tough shot again, but it's just Connor Davis being himself. Can put two hands in his face, he'll still make you work for it.
We're tied again, this time at 27, 7 minutes to go, first half. Fake by Fantina, blocked away by Fowler, but it trickles to Anthony. He takes the pull up and knocks it down. Back and forth we go in Puckett Fieldhouse. Bounce pass inside to McGee, who curls around, then finds Davis. He fires it right back to McGee, and he's able to finish
Great job by McGee. Such an improved player from last year to this one. Barely had any minutes last season. This time around, he has been a usual 5-starter halfway through the season, has made a way for himself in the starting lineup. He has proven to be one of the better, taller players for Culver-Stockton.
Jenkins off the front of the rim. And a double dribble in the backcourt for Culver-Stockton, and CMU gets the basketball right back. James Chua Sawulu check in for CMU. TJ Montgomery checks in the first time tonight for Culver-Stockton. He was shooting 62.5% from three before he's had to miss some time this year. 6:12 to play, first half tied at 29. Eagles still second in the conference in points a game, about 79.5. James from the wing. And it's way off mark, way off target, but Sawulu with the offensive rebound. Back to James, who hangs, can't make this time, gets the ball back, and finds Jenkins. Jenkins a fake spin, and he can't lay it up and in, but Mr. James is back on the glass. And the hustle leads to a Brandon Chua layup. That was all Kevin James that possession.
And those second chance, third, fourth chance opportunities, lethal.
Brandon Chua up to 10. Right now, Chua has the matchup against Connor Davis off the switch. Davis on Stevenson. 5 to shoot. Stevenson tees it up, and it's an air ball. Great defense by Brandon Chua and Kevin James. They switch between each other that entire possession, and it leads to an air ball 3. First half has blown by. 2-point lead for CMU, 5 minutes to go. James open from the corner. Way off again.
Bit unusual from James, especially. So much time left wide open, had enough time to maybe even drive in, take a 2 if he wanted to, mid-range. Opted for the 3.
Davis tries to give it back to Jackson. Hot potato. Jackson up and under, no. And Sawulu crashes in for the rebound. Anthony. Turnaround fadeaway, the signature move, drops in. Anthony averaging 14 a game. He dropped in 24 points. He was 3 of 5 from distance against Park. He has continued a phenomenal senior season. Off the turnover, Jenkins collects it. 4th turnover of the ball game for the Wildcats. Jenkins a crossover and a pull up. He left it well short. Dorian Hobbs wants his Wildcats to slow it down. Last year they were 14 and 15, 12 and 12 in the Hart Conference. Again, just 5 wins this year. Davis, way off target. It's been a bit of a disappointing season for both teams this year. Not quite meeting their expectations, especially relative to the preseason coaches poll. Sawulu lays it up and in. The largest lead of the evening for CMU, a 6-point advantage. And a foul off ball against Brandon Chua, his first personal, 4th team foul. Last year, that 12 and 12 mark and a 6th place finish in the Hart was the most Hart wins in 5 seasons for the Wildcats. They are looking to try to finish this rough and tumble season strong. 3:07 to play, 6-point lead for CMU.
East of the 45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle. He's to the 20, to the 10. He is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Bill caught down the line, and it's a line drive right down the line. Running catch by Jolly. Field line and turns, shoots, hits it from the corner. The fading three.
Six-point lead for CMU, 3:07 to play, first half from Fayette on the campus of Central Methodist University. Hosting the Wildcats at Culver-Stockton, Aaron Mosier, Esteban Velez with you. Both teams shooting 43% from the field, and both teams have made 4 threes. But a difference has been CMU out-rebounding the Wildcats by 6. They have 7 offensive rebounds, 10 assists, and 16 bench points. The Eagles have had great contributions from Brandon Chua and Destin Jenkins. They have combined for 19 points. Connor Davis and Ryan Stevenson have combined for 21 of Culver-Stockton's 29. Rhodes short on his 3. And Sewulu with another rebound. CMU wants to add to their advantage before the locker room break.
That's been one of the issues for the Wildcats. Not much depth in that bench. It's usually a 2-man show. Stevenson, Davis, we've seen it tonight. It's tough to win ball games like that.
Chua, the finger roll layup is good in traffic. CMU expands their largest lead of the evening, an 8-point advantage. Behind the back, Lovinger swings it to Rhodes. Double crossover, tough pull up, he drains it. Rhodes averaging about 9 a game from Chicago, Illinois. Chua moves it to James. Fantina turns the corner, and he is fouled on the drive. Davis picks up the foul, his second. 13th foul on the Wildcats with 2:01 to play first half. And Mario Fantina to the line where he is shooting 69%. Fantina, the graduate senior from Croatia. He has not shot as well from 3 as he would have liked, but it's good for him to be able to get back on the floor for as many games as he played this year after missing a lot of time at Arkansas Monticello last year. Off the miss, a foul on Sewulu. 15 foul on the Eagles. His first personal. Culver-Stockton coming into this year had some notable departures. A lot of their leading scorers either transferred or graduated. Jackson, tough finish inside is good. 1:40 to play first half. Eagles hold on to a 5-point lead. Chua, crossover out to Fantina. 9 to shoot for the Eagles. James, floater, short. Jackson, try to save it. But it's CMU basketball. I don't think we'll have a reset of the shot clock. Matt Sherman calls a timeout. I believe we'll have to get an update about the shot clock from scores table, because I don't imagine they're going to credit Culver-Stockton with possession, so that adds a new wrinkle as Matt Sherman talks things over with his Eagles. He wants to have a good finish to the first half right now. You look at this latter portion of the schedule, we thought it would be a little bit easier than that death row stretch of playing all the top teams in the conference, but you can't take anybody for granted in this conference. CMU only beat Mount Mercy by 2, and that's who they have to play Saturday. So that was the message Matt Sherman left off with us against Park a week ago, was that you got to take care of business against teams like Culver-Stockton. And the Wildcats came out hot, and they have played a good ball game thus far.
And even in the last game against Park, a team that they lost to on the road by a couple and then came back here at home and won by almost 20. That's impressive. That gives you momentum going forward. But again, no easy teams like you mentioned, and it's going to be a battle against Mount Mercy as well.
I'm not sure what the shot clock is at. Fantina tees it up, missed it, and there is a reset. So Marcus Anthony and the Eagles have it back.
I think no one's sure.
I think thankfully the miss off the iron gave us a reset, and the Eagles a chance to work. Anthony off the front of the iron. James gets it back, and another shot clock reset. He's doubled, able to get it away to Anthony. Chua's open. Instead, Swulu is fed with the basketball for the reverse layup.
You can see Chua calling for that ball from three-point land. McGee doing just enough to cover that pass, but either way, no one's stopping that two inside the paint by Swulu.
Swulu is shooting above 80% from the field this year. Just sensational stuff, especially if he qualified for the national leaderboard. Oh, baby, what a fake spin either way for Davis, and he still drops it in over Fantina. He's up to 15 points. What an exhibition from the junior.
He's just having fun out there.
Shot clock turned off. Anthony pours it in. Suwulu gets to the left hand, missed it. Tapped Susuwulu, gets it back for just a brief moment. It's out of bounds, and Culver-Stockton has 4.2 seconds remaining in the half, and Dorian Hobbs calls a timeout. With the Eagles leading by 5. Dorian Hobbs' second season at Culver-Stockton. He previously was an assistant for 4 seasons after he played with the Wildcats, was a part of some of the best teams in program history, including the team that set a school record for wins and 2 national tournament runs. But it's a tough place to win at times, and Dorian Hobbs is trying to do just that.
I mean, last year, a lot of success for Hobbs. First season, in my opinion, I always say it's the toughest one, especially in the conditions that he came in, rebuilding the program. And he took that team into the conference tournament, bowed down in the first round, but either way, a huge step up from the previous season. But this year has been a little bit more challenging for him. I thought it might have been an easier one, or it was going to be an easier one, but we talked about it earlier, a lot of players either graduating or transferring. It's been an uphill battle.
On the run, Davis did not get it off in time. He missed it anyway. And we head to the halftime break with the Eagles carrying a 5-point lead, shooting 41.5% from the field, 4 of 11 from distance. Only 1 turnover. CMU has been the worst team in the conference as far as turnovers, much better through the first 20 minutes. They're out rebounding the Wildcats by 8. Brandon Chua with 12 points, Destin Jenkins with 9, and the Eagles lead by 5. We'll step aside on the Hart Conference Network.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference. Champions in competition, leaders in life.
statistics. Culver-Stockton led the scoring by Connor Davis with 15. Ryan Stevenson follows up with 8. Alex Jackson with 6. And 2 apiece for Jacob McGee, Martez Rhodes, and Caden Marjorie. For the Eagles, they're led the scoring by Brandon Choya. He's got 12. Destin Jenkins follows with 9. Colt Hall with 5. 4 apiece for Thomas Cerullo and Marcus Anthony. And 3 apiece for Kevin James and Mario Fantino. Culver was 15 of 32 from the field, shot 47%, 4 of 10 from beyond the arc, and 1 of 1 at the charity stripe. CMU, on the other hand, 17 of 41, 41% from the field, 4 of 11 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 5 at the free throw line. CMU winning the battle on the boards, 25-17, and the turnovers. Culver's got 4, CMU's got 1, and CMU's got the lead, 40-35 at the half.
are set for second half action in Puckett Fieldhouse on the campus of Central Methodist. Culver-Stockton, the Wildcats on the road trail CMU by 5, 40-35. Aaron Mosier, Esteban Velez with you. Important night for Central Methodist as they grapple for conference tournament seeding. Tied for 7th as of right now with Missouri Valley. 2 games behind Grandview. The Vikings 6th in the standings. We will give you an update as soon as we can on those games with both those teams in action tonight in the Hart Conference. Just 2 games remaining. Jackson denied by Jenkins. He met him up top and sent it away, and it's CMU basketball.
See Jenkins with other ideas there, looking for that easy slam. Even better the block defensively. Jenkins
did not get the start tonight. Barbieri did. Likely to honor him being a senior. We'll have Mount Mercy on Saturday, the last regular season game, and likely the last home game of the year. Reach and foul. Jenkins with 9 points off the bench. Brandon Chua with a team high 12. Connor Davis a game high 15 for Culver-Stockton. And that foul goes against Jacob McGee, the senior from Arkansas. His first personal. Off the inbound, a turnover, a giveaway right back to McGee. A pass up ahead to Stevenson. He's able to finish it high off the window. Stevenson with 10. We start off the game with a red-hot 8. Cuts the deficit to 3 for the Wildcats. Jenkins can't hop it in. Davis fires it ahead to Rhodes. He's open for 3. Bit too strong. Jackson has the offensive rebound, and he finds Stevenson, who steps into another try. Off from the iron, tapped up by Jackson, collected by Jenkins. Anthony shoulders his way to the restricted circle and then lays it up and in. Eagles back up by 5, shooting above 40% from the field. Culver-Stockton shooting almost 46%. One of their better offensive starts to a game than they've had all season long. They had a great game against Mount Mercy in their win, 105-81. Shot clock winding down. Davis the fall away, just off target. Jackson the board, fires it out to Davis for 3. No, Jackson still staying active. He taps it to McGee, and he missed it. So after CMU was so good on the glass in the first half, not so much to start the second. Anthony hangs, kisses it in off the window.
That makes us miss opportunities on the other side for the Wildcats, even more costly. Had 3 chances to put it in. Great job on the rebound, just couldn't quite finish.
Jackson fires it to McGee. Stevenson is matched up against James. He moves it up top to Jackson. Jackson off the feed, gets to his right hand and pours in the hook shot.
Wildcats working the low ball a little bit more to begin this second half.
Jackson, the 6'6", 250 junior from Belleville, Illinois. Back to a 5-point lead for Central Methodist. They've led by as much as 8 this evening. Chua between the legs, trying to go back that way, and ripped away by Martez Rhodes. And Chua gets the basketball right back. James fires it to Tong. Jump stop, no, taps it up, gets his miss. No chance on his second try as this ball is running around like has its mind on its own. Davis blocked. And it's CMU basketball. So 3 minutes into this first half, and both teams having their ups and downs, to say the least.
The first 2 minutes looked a bit better from both teams, knocking down a couple shots. Last 30 seconds or so, they've looked a bit discombobulated.
Eagles have been so much better not turning the ball over tonight, just 3 turnovers. They're still able to beat Park even though they turn it over 18 times against the Pirates. Tong gets his own miss once again, out to Chua, and his 3 ball is knocked down. Mr. Chua up to 15. His second 3 ball of the night. The Eagles up by 8 again. Rhodes try to fire it in. Anthony blocked it away. Davis was open, but they can't find him. Jackson backing down Tong. His right hand sent away by Tong. Great defense from the 6'9" senior, and a bounce pass to James for the slam.
And offensively, I'm surprised Culver has not gone to Davis too much in the second half. They're trying to get other scorers going. Not quite working. I credit the defense for CMU. That last play turning defense into the offense, and now they finally find James, but not really the way they wanted to.
Chua had the assist to James, and then he picks up the foul as he has the matchup against Davis, his second personal. Tonight it's been a switch defense against Davis. They're switching pretty much everything. Davis had 26 points in 38 minutes against Mid-America Nazarene. Rather, against Mount Mercy, he was 5 of 9 from 3. Against Mid-America Nazarene in their 68-58 loss, he had 21. And he probes in the lane and finishes an and one. He is up to 17 points. Connor Davis nearing another 20-plus point performance.
Impressive to see him have almost half of the points that the Wildcats have today, nearing that mark.
Back-to-back games for him of being 9 of 9 from the foul line. Not sure he'll get there today, but he is shooting 84% from the stripe. Back-to-back seasons of doing that for Connor Davis, who is up to 18 points. And he cuts the deficit to 7 for Culver-Stockton. Anthony bounced it to Tong. Shoulders, gets to his right hand, hook shot no. And Tong is struggling to finish inside the lane in the second half. Chua with the steal. One-on-one against Jackson. He races to the hoop and able to put it in with his right hand. Chua up to 17. It's been a battle of Chua and Connor Davis in the second half. Two of the best players in the Hart Conference. Last time out, Culver-Stockton had a much worse offensive performance than they've had tonight. 3-ball, offside iron for Stevenson. Against Mid-America Nazarene, they shot just 33% from the field and were 4 of 21 from distance. Tong blocked, but a foul. Whistle on Jacob McGee. His second personal, second team foul. And we have a timeout, 14:22 to play. 9-point lead, the largest of the evening for CMU. We will step aside on the Hart Conference Network. We're almost 6 minutes into this second half. 9-point lead for Central Methodist over the visiting Wildcats of Culver-Stockton. As we've talked about a couple times tonight, important last two games for the Eagles and for the Hart Conference standings. Currently the Eagles tied for 7th with Missouri Valley. And a score update with Missouri Valley on the road at Parkin. Right now the Vikings trail by 9. Bull Tong to the foul line to shoot 2. Tong has 5 points this evening. He was empty on his last trip to the stripe. He's able to drop in the first one with some help from the rim. And Grandview, a couple of games ahead of Central Methodist, right now trails William Penn and Oskaloosa by 10. Just under 6 minutes, just under 7 minutes to play in that one. So that would potentially give CMU the chance to tie with Grandview at the end of the season They're 6th in the standings, but see how that all unfolds. Stevenson, step back mid-range, swirls out, and a rebound to Tong. Went 1 for 2 at the stripe. Anthony out to James. He's able to rush in and lay it up and in.
CMU playing with some urgency, especially on their drives. The Wildcats not really sure how to defend it inside the paint.
Eagles looking to expand this lead to an insurmountable amount. Try to close this game out. What a pass by Davis. Firing it into Nicholas Fowler, the senior from California. Anthony, the pull-up, the hand in his face, off front of the iron, and it rattles out. Still a 10-point lead for the Eagles. Culver-Stockton down to 41% from the field. Chua off the steal, a slam. Brandon Chua, have yourself a night. 19 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 8 of 11 from the field. And he's up to 3 steals this evening. He is the complete package as a player. Davis, step back 3, contested off the side iron, and a block by Tong. Denying Lovinger, who's in trouble, and he throws in the hands of Chua. A 4th steal for Brandon Chua. Tong keeps the ball alive until he is fouled, and he hits the deck, tumbling around. 12-point lead for CMU. Winning the second half 16-9. And they are shooting 45% from the field. Thomas Sawulu replaces Tong, Jackson, and Rhodes back in for the Wildcats. 15 assists tonight for CMU after they had 20 against Park a week ago. And they're sharing the basketball. This offense is doing well. Chua turns it over, back to Culver-Stockton. Davis, spin move. Kicks it out to Lovinger. Culver-Stockton has been a cycle of players the past 2 seasons. James taps it out of bounds. Dorian Hobbs took over last year and had to replace almost the entirety of the roster. He's able to keep a few players, but he also lost a few more this going into this year. Seth Larson averaged 14 a game last year. He transferred to Columbia. Robert Fry to St. Francis of Indiana. He averaged 14 a game too. Both those guys were Hart second teamers. And Martez Rhodes panics, throws it out of bounds. Carondis Harris Anderson graduated for the Wildcats. 3 major contributors. And the Wildcats have dealt with their own injuries this year that have been to their detriment, and just 5 wins, 5-21 record entering tonight. And they will not be playing any basketball after their final game of the season against Missouri Valley on Saturday. That will be an important one for CMU depending on how tonight's results end up. Anthony drains a 3.
Even with the hand in his face, not faced by any means. Marcus Anthony, he's been doing that for the better part of the entire season.
Anthony up to 11. That 3 is an air ball from Lovinger. And at CMU basketball, they have expanded their lead to the largest amount it's been all night as Dorian Hobbs tries to encourage his group. That started out the night so well. They got off to a 9-2 start. Stevenson and Davis combined for 16 points early on. Didn't feel like either of them could miss. And then this game immediately went back in the hands of Central Methodist. And this second half has been all Eagles.
That's usually how it's gone for Culver this year. They don't have an issue starting off strong. They usually do that. But second half comes around and their problem is keeping pace with the other teams rather than coming off hot of the opening tip.
Chua missed the 3. Another miss for Rhodes. Anthony runs through the contact, bumped again, and whistle was blown on Nicholas Fowler Fourth team foul on Culver-Stockton.
They're just glad it wasn't on Davis.
Davis has 18 points. Based on how he started, it felt like he could have another career day just like he did with the 41 points against William Penn in late January. Fantina for three. Off for the iron. Wildcats still down by 15. 2.5 minutes to play. Three ball. Moving along two. Missed short by Stevenson. Anthony on the drive. And beautiful layup. Spinning it in with a little bit of English.
And that's what worked all game long, taking it to the basket, driving, not being faced, using the height advantage, the strength, muscling their way in. They taking advantage.
And Davis draws the foul. And a chance to get to a third straight 20-plus point performance for Davis as he goes to the foul line. Culver-Stockton got to the foul line a ton in their last two games. 22 of 24 from the foul line against Mid-America Nazarene, 23 of 32 in their win over Mount Mercy. Had a chance for another win this year against Clark on the 10th of this month, but they lost by 1 to the Pride, 82 to 81. Christian Barbieri checks in along with Kai Jordan and Will Hemme. 10:05 to play. Connor Davis up to 19 points. He drops in the pair. Mr. Davis up to 20 points tonight. 6'7", 220-pound junior.
Just another day in the office.
Hemme. Between the legs, out to Fantina. Hemme wanted Sawulu. Turnover. Davis back to Jackson. Free run to the bucket. Oh, was it blocked? Maybe blocked by Jordan. And Jordan fires it to Hemme for the lay-in. 63 to 46, 17-point lead for Central Methodist. 9-10 remaining in Puckett Fieldhouse. Davis rips through, spins, can't make.
You can see the energy running low for the Wildcats, even from their bench. Not really too much to be cheering about it. It's showing on the court as well.
And a foul. Jordan tumbles to the floor. Score update from around the heart before we go to break. As there's a timeout on the floor, 8:50 to go. Third personal foul on Connor Davis. Mount Mercy a 77 to 64 lead over Clark. Neither of those teams will be making the Hart tournament, but CMU does have to play Mount Mercy on Saturday. William Penn right now a 76 to 67 lead over Grandview. 4:19 to play in that one from Oskaloosa. Graceland leads Peru State 62 to 48. The Yellow Jackets trying to bounce back after a brutal late second loss once again against Baker. Right now, Graceland, the 2 seed, 3 games back of Baker. Peru State just 1 game back of the Yellow Jackets, but this one could really put Peru State, would confirm Peru State as likely the 3rd seed. Mid-America Nazarene right now the 4th seed, tied with Park. But the Park Pirates look to be in good shape tonight, as they are leading Missouri Valley 70 to 53. 7:09 to play in that one from Parkville. Benedictine hanging around with Baker, 64 to 60 lead for the Wildcats in Baldwin City. The Ravens have really been a tough team to beat all year long. They have played just about everybody closer, pulled an upset here and there. CMU went to overtime twice with the Ravens. On the timeout, Jordan slings it out to Fantina. Barbieri back to Fantina against Davis. Fantina, tough, long two. It swirls out.
That seems like an eternity ago. The game against Benedictine, first in the conference, first game in the conference for CMU here at home, and they had that one. And then mentioned it's been a feisty team for Benedictine all season long. They came back, huge win for them.
Well, it was their second conference, their third conference game of the season, but going back to that Mid-America Nazarene game, that ended up being an impressive win. Looking back, it was just the Pioneers started off the first half of the season not so great, and then put together a prolific second half led by Joe Buchanan. So they're another intriguing season where it felt like about the same time William Penn fell off as when Mid-America Nazarene hit their stride. And looking at CMU being 2 games back of Grandview, CMU split with the Vikings this year. The Vikings look to fall today, but they do have one more game, and they will be on the road at Benedictine on Saturday. So that'll be one to look at for CMU. I'm unaware of how all the tiebreakers would work if CMU were to catch up to Grandview.
No overall record is the first tiebreaker. After that, it gets a little bit more complicated.
And I think CMU, if they win their last 2 and Grandview loses their last 2, then CMU would have that advantage. And that would seem to put CMU into the 6th seed, and they would play Peru State in the first round, which, look, the last times CMU has played Peru State pretty close this year. They lost by 8 the last time they played the Bobcats. That was on the road, but here at home, they took a Carlos Hines game winner for Peru State to pull that one out in Fayette.
It's a better matchup than having to face either Baker or Graceland as well, but those 3 teams are just tough.
Yeah, that Baker and Grayson really just grinded out games against the Eagles, and they struggled mightily offensively in all 4 of those contests between those 2 opponents. Rhodes from 3, drains it, and that pulls the Wildcats within 15, and Matt Sherman wants a timeout. 7:01 to play, and this time we'll step aside on the Hart Conference Network. Central Methodist up by 15.
Central Methodist.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference. Champions in competition, leaders in life.
.01 to play in this one. Aaron Mosier, Esteban Velez with you on the Hart Conference Network. CMU a 65-50 advantage over Culver-Stockton at home. William Penn has pulled away from Grandview in Oskaloosa, an 84-70 lead over the Vikings. And if CMU can hold on here and William Penn can hold on in Iowa, that sets up a very interesting Saturday with Grandview on the road at Benedictine and CMU hosting Mount Mercy, with the Eagles having a shot at making it as high as the 6th seed. And Baker will avoid an upset today in Atchison as they have pulled away from Benedictine. At least that looks like that will be the case. Under 7 to play in that one. The Baker Wildcats lead by 13 in Baldwin City. As we have a discussion with the officials, they're pointing towards the shot clock. I don't know if we try to use those again or what's the holdup as far as that. Regardless, Baker is your Hart regular season champion. They locked that up last week. Wildcats have been excellent this year, and NAIA Hoops Report has them in the tournament in the same region as William Woods. I believe Baker was listed as a 3 seed, and I can't remember if William Woods was a 2 seed or a 4 seed. Marcus Anthony offside iron, and a foul outside. No. Or was there a foul? Maybe a technical foul. Looks like there's a technical foul, and maybe on Anthony trying to seal that, trying to buy that foul call on the 3 ball, and that'll lead to a technical, trying to kick his legs out, and that Connor Davis is at the foul line. He drains the technical, so Culver-Stockton trails by 14.
Going back to William Woods, he said maybe number 3, number 4 seed. Even then, CMU had a really contested game against them. So the Eagles can play with the best of the best. It just depends how they are that night. A bit of inconsistency all season long. You talked about Peru State, that game coming down to the wire. They'll probably be looking to be in the tournament, looking to make a run in the conference tournament first before the NAIA, but CMU can battle. It's just a matter of how they're going to be showing up that day.
Speaking of battling and speaking of showing up, how about Marcus Anthony completely out-hustling Connor Davis to that basketball, and it leads to 2 points for the Eagles. Marcus Anthony, what a season he has put together, and Matt Sherman attributes a lot of that to Anthony finally just being healthy. He's a little banged up to start the season, but once he got healthy, he was in full groove, and he has been sensational this year for Central Methodist.
Sherman has to be happy with his performance tonight. Not just the 15 points, but the fact that, like you said, he's still battling even with the scoreline how it is. A 14-point lead for his team. He doesn't care. He's here to finish out a ball game. He knows job's not done. He'll play until the very last whistle.
I think the holdup we had earlier with the shot clock is now the game clock has stopped again on this right side. On the shot clock at least. Anthony pull up over Jackson, too strong, tap no, Chua, back to James, out of bounds, and it stays with CMU with under 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5:40 to play, Eagles, a 14-point lead, and the basketball. Jenkins, short, wanted his own miss, and a foul on Lovinger. Another balanced scoring effort for the Eagles, just like it was in Canton back in January when the Eagles shot 49% from the field and 42% from deep against Culver-Stockton. Jenkins, Anthony, and Tog each had 16-plus points. Anthony was 5 of 7 from 3 with 19 points. And they helped Culver-Stockton to 29% from the field and forced 16 turnovers out of the Wildcats, who also were 11% from distance. Culver-Stockton started out the day much better, but they have since fallen below 36% from the field and 23.5% from deep. And split trip for Jenkins at the line. 15-point lead for the Eagles. Jenkins up to 10 points. Davis splits through, gets the ball back, ripped away. Chua wants it, and he's got it. And he throws it up ahead to Jenkins for the jam.
Chua defensively a monster in the second half. Had 3 steals in the first 10 minutes. And he's continued that even until late in this game.
We'll see if he gets credited with the block after that miss of Davis. He feeds it to Jackson, the hook shot, can't rim in. And a foul inside. Jenkins up to 12 points. What a day for Brandon Chua. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. As we've got a timeout. 17-point lead for CMU, 4:44 to go.
East of the 45, cuts across midfield. Up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle. East of the 20, to the 10. He is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Field caught down the line, and it's a line drive right down the line. Running catch by Jolly. It's it from the corner, the fading three.
Welcome you back to Puckett Fieldhouse. 4:44 to go. Eagles a 17-point lead. Aaron Mosier, Esteban Velez with you on the Hart Conference Network. As we talked about Culver-Stockton getting to the free throw line a ton over the last couple of games. They got to the foul line 22 attempts against the Eagles in January. Not so much tonight. They are just 6 of 7 from the foul line. They are the best free throw shooting team in the Hart Conference. 74.5%, but they just haven't gotten there a ton tonight. Alex Jackson there now, and he misses the first one. He's just 53% from the stripe this year. And Ofer trip for Jackson. And the Eagles want to expand on a 17-point lead that thus far has been good in this building and elsewhere. We'll give you another score update in the Hart in just a moment. It's shaping up to be a good finish to the season for the Eagles. For the Hart Conference Tournament, Jenkins the three, he drains it, he's up to 15 points. And Justin Jenkins, what a season he has had. He has put together some sensational numbers and some great performances. And off the bench tonight, another one. Rhodes, spin move, and Fantina is whistled for the foul. So not only are the Wildcats a different team than they were last year, they're also missing some key pieces tonight. We have not seen Deshaun Petty Ty Walters Whitaker, two big contributors for this team, out tonight. And we have not seen Roe Dinar either, the junior from Tel Aviv, Israel. 3 players, contributors missing, and that has led to a tough night in Fayette.
And Whitaker's not even traveling today, so maybe a bit of an injury for him, not here with his team. He was playing last Saturday against Mid-America. Might have picked something up in that one.
Eagles swinging around the perimeter. Tong wants the post up, and they can't get the basketball to him. Great denial by Culver-Stockton. They pick up the steal. Davis with the loose ball. He's up to 21 points. Behind the back, and he lost it. He had Rhodes open in the corner, and Rhodes with visible frustration. And Culver-Stockton has not shared the ball well this year. Tong clutches it, can't make it. Just 11 assists a game for the Wildcats. Last in the conference. They have not defended the rim well. They did that time. Last in the conference with blocks. As a three-pointer is short for Rhodes. Just not a ton has gone right for the Wildcats this year. And after a good start, the Wildcats are shooting just 36% from the field, 26% from distance. As Jenkins is fouled on the drive, CMU up to 46% from the field, 39% from deep. And they are out rebounding Culver-Stockton by 6. They have forced the Wildcats into 13 turnovers, 18 assists for the Eagles with 9 steals, 28 bench points, and 38 points in the paint. Jenkins shooting 77% from the stripe this year. And this is a 1-and-1. CMU into the bonus as they call a foul on the floor. 17 fouls on Culver-Stockton. And Jenkins drops in the front end. And we have a final in Oskaloosa. William Penn defeats Grandview 86-72. Big win for the Eagles, along with the final in Parkville. Park 85, Missouri Valley 67. And so the Eagles are making up some ground in the Hart standings late in the year. Lovinger drops it in. Anthony pulls up and makes it in the lane. Anthony up to 17 points tonight. Davis, a long three. He drops it in. And Davis up to 24 points. He will finish out this season in a flurry. Fantina can't answer. And Davis pushes it the other way. If you're the Eagles, you got to close this one out. Davis can score in a hurry. He loses it this time into the hands of Lovinger and a foul on Jenkins. So I've seen weirder things happen. Even with 2:07 to play, this game is not quite over unless Dorian Hobbs thinks it is. Platoon substitutions about to check in. And this could be the end of the night for Connor Davis. If so, that is likely the end of the night for the Wildcats as well. Esteban, am I giving them more of a shot than they are themselves?
It seems like it. Their bench players are ready to come in.
I've just seen what Connor Davis can do. That scares me. I don't care how much time is left on the clock.
Even when his team has a bad night, which, you know, it's happened a lot this season for the Wildcats, he's continued to drain three-pointers, make tough shots, and that's impressive because that momentum, that energy, or that lack of momentum, rather, it could wear off on him. You know, his teammates are not doing well. He can feed off of it, but it hasn't been the case for him all season long. That's tough to do.
Davis picked up his fourth personal, and there was a technical foul called on Davis. That was what the whistle was for. And Anthony drops him both at the foul line. And Anthony up to 19 points. And Hemi replaces Anthony, who gives him a nice hug. Anthony will have a great senior day on Saturday as CMU takes on Mount Mercy. Look forward, I'm sure you are, to seeing what he can do in his last home game, likely as an Eagle. Connor Davis finishes the night with 24 points, 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from distance, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, and another good stat sheet for Davis. So checking back into the standings, if CMU closes this one out, Barbieri and Jordan are in along with Austin Prater. So CMU looks to move to 11 and 12 in conference play. Grandview falls to 12 and 11. Mo Valley falls to 10 and 13. So now CMU a game ahead of Mo Valley in sole control of 7th place. Mo Valley 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now, the 8th seed behind 1 game ahead of Benedictine. Austin Prater drops in a 3, and that is the cherry on top for tonight's victory. The redshirt sophomore from St. Louis puts CMU up by 19. So CMU 1 game back of Grandview for 6th in the standings, 1 game ahead of Mo Valley. And so partner, that sets up an important Saturday where the Eagles host Mount Mercy, and Grandview is on the road in Atchison to take on the Ravens of Benedictine, who have been tough to beat all year long.
That's how we like it. Coming down to the wire, last game of the season. Obviously still have in clinch the playoff spot already, but the fact that you can end up in rather 7 or 6 place, it's huge. And the fact that it's against a team, the last game, that can battle, it's going to be a close one. Should be an exciting one and really, really important one from succeeding.
And as we talked about, CMU, if they're the 6th seed, would play Peru State, a team they have played much better than against Graceland, the 2 seed as of right now. And the Yellow Jackets are a much tougher matchup for the Eagles.
You get a win against Peru State or Grayson or whoever it is you play in that first round, that builds some momentum into the second. That can carry into hopefully the final, going to championship game in the conference. And we've seen a lot of lower seeds take control. Last year it wasn't the number 1 seed who won it all. So there's something to say about a good underdog.
Austin Prater with the slam. Ball still loose, and Roe Denar getting some time here late tonight. Nicholas Fowler hoists the 3, and that does it. CMU wins this one 87-63 and extends their win streak over Culver-Stockton in this building. 5 straight home wins over the Wildcats. And a great night for the Eagles. And talking about Benedictine versus Grandview, in February, the Ravens defeated the Vikings 77-67 in Des Moines. So a lot points to CMU finishing out the season as the 6th seed, but a lot of work to do before we can really talk about that. But a great performance tonight for the Eagles. The final score 87-63. Esteban, any final thoughts as we head into an important Saturday?
Just like the way they finished, even with the scoreline how it is, battling till the end, knowing it's not just about getting the victory, but also about building into that last game into Mount Mercy, and then after that, the conference tournament. Every single game, even blowouts like this one, play a big role into the next game, and it keeps carrying, and I like the energy, I like the momentum we see from CMU today, just battling till the very end.
I hope to see Matt Sherman for our post-game interview. Thank you, Esteban, and good luck on Saturday for the doubleheader against Mount Mercy. Score update, or stat sheet update, I should say. Marcus Anthony, 19 points, 8 of 14 at the field for the senior, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Brandon Chua had himself a day, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, 2 of 3 from distance. He was 8 of 12 from the field. Destin Jenkins, 17 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from distance with 5 rebounds. Emmy and James both with 7 points. Bolt Tong, 6 points, 8 rebounds. Prater with 5, Suulu with 4, Mario Fantino with 3. 4 assists for Kai Jordan, 2 rebounds for Christian Barbieri. Culver-Stockton was led by Connor Davis with 24 points, 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from distance, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Ryan Stevenson started off the game well, 10 points, but he finishes the game just 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 8 from beyond the arc. Martez Rhodes, 7 points, 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 6 from distance. Alex Jackson, 9 points, 4 of 9 from the field. We've got Matt Sherman up here with us for our post-game interview. Central Methodist takes the win over Culver-Stockton at home, 87-63. Coach, they got off to a red-hot start, knocking down threes. You guys were able to settle back in, force a lot of turnovers, have the Wildcats settle in offensively, and overall you kind of had a similar day that you had against them, against Canton, with your top 3 scorers being Anthony, Chua, and Jenkins.
Yeah, they got off to a good start, but that was their scores, hitting shots that they've shown all year that they can hit. So we talked about trying to make them uncomfortable before they were able to put the ball on the ground and stuff, which I thought in the second half we did a lot better job of being aggressive defensively. In the first half, I thought we were just guarding to not foul. I think our aggressiveness showed a lot more in the second half.
And you're able to limit the turnovers, 6 turnovers. You shared the basketball well, 21 assists. Able to force some turnovers yourself, 9 steals, 5 of those from Brandon Chua. We know what kind of effort he can bring, but he was all over the place tonight.
Yeah, no, for the most part, for about the first 5-7 minutes, I think he was the only one that really came out ready to play with our normal intensity that we expect. We didn't have our normal starting lineup for just different reasons tonight, and he kind of carried us there for a little bit until we were able to get the lead, and don't think we ever really gave it up once we did, or maybe a couple times there early. But once we found our groove, we were able to kind of gain control there. But definitely want a little bit better start there Saturday, but thought we had some guys step up and play good games.
Well, you didn't have just a good night here in Fayette, also around the Hart Conference. One, you clinched your spot in the tournament with Benedictine's loss to Baker tonight. Park got the win over Mill Valley, so you now hold 7th place solely. And you also got a loss out of Grandview tonight. William Penn 86, the Vikings 72. So one game back of Grandview right now in the standings, so that sets up an important Saturday against Mount Mercy. Grandview will be at Benedictine, who they lost to in January. So it sets up a pretty interesting scenario where you could eventually make it up to the 6th seed.
Well, we'd actually lose the tiebreaker no matter what.
Gotcha.
Pretty much any team that we can possibly tie with, we would lose a tiebreaker. But, I mean, still finishing 6th in the standings would be nice for the guys just from where we had our little skid. But I think the 7th seed is the best that we can do. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on the Graceland, Peru finals and seeing where those two teams probably finish. Now that we know that Benedictine lost and where we are, and then and obviously, the 8th is still in play. But, we can't control those games. We can just control what we do Saturday. We went up to Mount Mercy last year and weren't ready to play, and they weren't playing for postseason, and that was their senior day, and they, ended, on a high note with a win. So, we're trying to make sure that we don't let that happen again this year, and that we stay focused. And we know that we've got more games to play past Saturday, so we want to keep what momentum we've got started right now and keep that going into the playoffs and make sure that we just get a win Saturday. That's the most important thing right now.
And Graceland leads Peru State by 9 with under a minute to go, so it looks like Peru State will be the 3rd seed, Graceland the 2 seed. But as you go to that last game against Mount Mercy, you only beat them by 2 last time out. Important day for the seniors, probably their last home game. What are you just looking at, in totality in that effort as you kind of hit on some things?
Yeah, I mean, I think just focus. I'm not sure we were 100% focused when the game started today. And these games can be tough. But that's what makes the good teams good, is they're ready to go every night. And we haven't shown that this year. And, some of that's on the coaches, but it's got to be on the players and on the captains and everybody too. You've got to find a way to make yourself get focused and get yourself up for every game. I mean, not everybody's guaranteed another game. So you got to make every one count. And, I guess we know that there is one after Saturday, but, last year that team showed that not always the high seeds move on. So, we've had some good games with Graceland, but they've had our number. And, if that is who we have after Saturday, we're going to have to go up and play a good game. But, we've got to focus on Mount Mercy first here and get a good win. And like I said, keep that momentum going.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time, and another great win tonight for Central Methodist. The Eagles move to 14-13, 11-12 on the season. Culver-Stockton falls to 5-22, 5-18 in conference play. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. For Esteban Velez and our entire CMU crew and the athletic department, thank you for joining us. I'm Aaron Mosier signing off. We will see you Saturday against Mount Mercy. The final score tonight, CMU 87,